Governor Kristi Noem, Republican of South Dakota, joins us once again. Welcome back, Governor. How are you tonight?
I'm doing great. Good, Greg. Thank you for having me on the program.
Thanks so much. First off, listen, I know President Trump is an admirer of yours, and you guys spent time together over July 4th, that magnificent speech. What's your sense? How is he doing, and what is his future? What would you like to see from him right now?
Well, I haven't spoken with President Trump at all, but I do know that he's got a lot of support across the country, and he'll continue to be involved. We're really focusing on making sure that we're doing what's right for South Dakota, but also defending our freedoms in this state and the freedoms of every single individual. So, the Biden administration has come forward with a lot of executive orders that will change our way of life. And so we're figuring out what that means for us here and what we can do to fight back.
Yeah, he's signing left and right. You have a very interesting take on all of this, though, in the Federalist. Let's go ahead and put it up, an article that you wrote based off a speech I believe you gave. The Republican Party has failed America, and here's how it needs to change. And it's interesting. You say that 2020 is actually an example of all of the opportunities Republicans have. That Democratic, correct me if I'm wrong here, but Democrats really failed Americans in 2020, and Republicans can really provide a service in the future.
Well, leadership has consequences, and we saw Democratic leadership play out in our cities across the country in 2020. Violence, mobs, rioting and looting, a lack of enforcement of laws, that's Democrat leadership on display. But in that Federalist piece, I talked extensively about Republicans, what we haven't followed through on and what we need to do in the future. We said we would reform health care, repeal Obamacare. We have not done that. We said we would deal with immigration. We have not done that. There's a lot of different promises that we've made to the American people that we just haven't had the fortitude to pursue and actually get into place and impact their lives. And so the Republican Party has a self-evaluation they need to go through. And we really need to focus on making sure that we're doing what we say. I've always watched every single president, and I've watched their actions, what they actually put into place with policies. And we as Republicans need to make sure that we follow through on everything that we say we stand for as well.
We're looking at a picture of you with President Trump. Well, look, when I look at President Trump and his record, I see a record of success. I also see a record where Democrats try to sabotage him at every turn. I mean, it's amazing that he was able to get through it the way he did with all of the opposition. Your thoughts on Donald Trump's legacy? And I don't think either one of us are prepared to say that he is finished politically. He has a big future, I believe, if he wants it. But how would you assess his term?
President Trump did things of great magnitude for this country. What he did on tax reform, on trade deals, his support of Israel, his protection of our national defense, his enforcement of our laws. This man got up every single day and fought for the common, everyday Americans so that they could have a chance to be successful and pursue the American dream. His legacy is going to be remembered as one of the greatest presidents that we've had because of the policies he pursued and the fact that he actually did what he campaigned on and he followed through on it.
I know. How unique for in politics. We love it, what he did, and so novel, actually. By the way, I understand you just introduced a bill to ban abortions based on Down syndrome diagnosis. Could you tell us more?
I did. This week I introduced a bill that would give every single individual the right to life, and that includes those that have an extra chromosome. It's estimated that in the United States, 2 out of 3 pregnancies that have a diagnosis of Down syndrome are aborted. And so our bill would put forward here in South Dakota the fact that if a child was diagnosed with Down syndrome in the womb, that a doctor could not abort that child just because of that diagnosis, that it would ensure that if that diagnosis was given to that family, that they could not follow through on that abortion just solely because that child was going to be Down syndrome. And I think it's incredibly important that we look at the right that we all have in this country to be treated equally and to have equal opportunity for life, and that protection lies in our hands, and it's one that we in South Dakota, when we say we stand by it, we put it forward and into our statutes and protect it.
So, Governor Noem, people are impressed. They're impressed with you and what you've done in South Dakota. Won't you allow that you're probably just a little bit thinking about maybe running for president? You've been in the House for a long time. You're governor now. People like you. 2024, you thinking about it?
No, I love it here. I'm going to run for re-election in 2022, and I'm hopeful that the people of South Dakota will give me the honor of representing them and working for them another 4 years.
Well, if I were running for president, I'd say something like that too. But I know you're being sincere. I do. I do. Hey, by the way, I read one. I've never been to South Dakota. Can you believe that? There's something fundamentally wrong with that.
Oh.
But I know.
You got to fix that.
You've got a river running right in the middle of the state. And I understand it's like a big deal if you're on one side of the river or the other side of the river. And like culturally, there's a difference. I read that in some magazine. Is that overstated or what's the deal?
Well, you cut out a little bit, Greg, but yes, the Missouri River runs right through the state of South Dakota. East River and West River are how we describe the state quite often, and it defines our time zones as well. It's Central Time and Mountain Time are divided by the Missouri River, but South Dakota, every single square inch is special, and the people here are remarkable. You need to come see us and come visit me in Pierre, and I'll give you a personal tour of our state.
How about this weekend? I would love to. Hey, by the way, wait a second. Your state has 2 time zones?
It does, absolutely.
Governor, I think we should fix that. I mean, that's got to be, people are late and early all the time, right?
Well, it's a little confusing when you live right on the river. So we cross from pier to Fort Pier, and it changes.
That's pretty wild. Who knew? Who knew? Well, Governor Noem, thank you so much for coming on Newsmax once again. I will see you in Pierre, right? You don't, here, look.
We'll see you in Pierre, absolutely.
It's spelled Pierre like the French guy, but it's actually pronounced Pierre. I knew that part, and I've never even been there. Thank you, Governor. Thank you so much, and good luck, stay safe, and congratulations.
Have a wonderful day.
You too. All right, I am definitely going on that tour with my wife, and I'm sure the first dude of South Dakota. We'll be right back.
Newsmax TV is now America's fastest growing cable news channel. We give you the real news you need. So subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us a thumbs up. If you like this video, share it with your friends. Newsmax TV streams live on YouTube for free. Newsmax TV, real news for real people.